just envious. Why is it Kabusu?
Yeah.
Why is it Kabusu leading? Why should not it? Why shouldn't it have been so and so? Why should not it have been this body or that? But we are saying, try what you have not tried. If it is one of the options, mediation in courts. I and the Honorable Musisi have gone to courts with parties having serious offenses. Simon, I have ever represented you in court, where court required of us to talk. The talks did not yield, but we were required to talk. Why is it not in the opposition politics that we should not talk? We should not talk. There are people who have wounds, who need nursing. If some need jobs and the jobs are there, why would we deny them jobs if we will never give them anyway?
Precisely.
I think
so many fronts have failed for the opposition. You've gone to the ballot and failed in many ways. Dislodging President Museveni has become a futile attempt. Isn't it time for talks?
Simon, it's if you're involved in a liberation struggle, you can say that talks can work. The question here, and like I say, many of us have been labeled that we're anti-dialogue, and no.
Hostile?
No. In fact, I remember sometime last year at our headquarters, our party president said, these are our demands for talks. The issue has always been that we've never been against structured talks. That is why we participate even in the National Consultative Forum. NUP is the vice chair of the National Consultative Forum. It's a dialoguing tool or forum for parties. So it's not, even Parliament is a forum for talking. We've been in Parliament. So the question is not about talks or dialogue. The question here, and Honorable Kabusu forgot another group, because he talked about the envious ones and then those ones who are what you call lumpen now.
They're even the skeptical ones.
Yes, there are those who care about him and they're just cautious. the cautious skepticism. Buyout, eh? Yes, because of what we've seen in the past. And the moment you cross the Rubicon, the moment you say that we are and this is an organization, because the first question would be that group, which mandate does it represent? They are leaders, they are all leaders. And the question would be that, for at least for those who've seen the picture, and I want to rely on those in the picture. The rest, they'll be released, it will be treated as rumors until Honorable Kabusu gives us names. The rest are just rumors.
Won't you give it to them that they were bold enough to meet the president and even pose for photographs? Could this be perhaps a springboard for more refined talks along the way? So they come off as political messiahs, aren't they?
Like I've said, some of us who are watching from the sidelines, we are saying that road you've taken, many have taken it. What have you shown to say that you are not going to fall on the same black spot that the others failed? Because I have given you the last example, as Honorable Mao said, unlike others, for me, I've entered with an agreement. That agreement had clauses saying, and DP is going to get a state minister. Up to now, no state minister. You've had him crying foul. So for him, he thought he had even taken it a notch higher by having a written commitment from General Museveni. So I'm saying that others who are watching with skepticism are saying this could be about individual trifles, because it's also what a coincidence and an irony that Honorable Kabusu spends 10 years in opposition in Parliament, and then in the 11th year, he thinks what I've been doing is all wrong, let's change strategy. That Honorable Latif spent 20 years in opposition in Parliament, and then in the 21st year, he says, what I've been doing is wrong, let's change strategy. That irony is not lost.
Has it hit you yet that the road you're pursuing is not tenable? You can't dislodge Museveni by the current strategy. I
don't think can't is a big word, because when you are, like I've said, when you the issues we are putting on the table are on principle. The issues are putting on tables on principle, and everywhere in the world, Simon, because this has happened. Where you're having an almost military state versus those who are fighting for space. It has happened many places. It has happened in Zimbabwe, even the apartheid struggle. When it comes to talks, the talks should be structured. Let us assume, like I've said, that Honorable Kabusu and the group are well-intentioned. However, the first demand I would have had out of a communique that would have come out of that meeting would have said, we've asked General Museveni to organize the structured dialogue such that it co-opts all forces. What I'm hearing is what I've heard before, that no, we are calling for reconciliation, and we are saying we had that in 2016, we had that in 2021, we had that in 2011. The reasons why it failed then were the same reasons. And for some of us who are skeptical, we're saying that the only thing that came out of them was the individuals. Some of them got individual trophies, not the causes that they stood for.
What if at the end of the day it's true that some of your members actually met President Museveni?
That's why personally I would be interested in having those members named, because they would be there as individuals. They would be there not to represent NUP. They would be there as individuals. Would
you reprimand them as a party? Do you think there is a legal framework that they would have offended if they met President Museveni?
If anyone went, because if you are on the party ticket, you cease having individual interests, especially on some political causes, because you go there as an NUP person. So you go there to represent as an NUP person. You can't alienate, especially if you're having. That's how multipartyism works. If you're independent, that is between you and your constituents.
Well, I want to bring in Honorable Yusuf Nsibambi. Currently, he's on Sanyuka TV, our Luganda sister station. Perhaps we could snatch a minute of him to speak to us. Honorable Yusuf Nsibambi, you're live on NBS this morning, and a very good morning. There is contention on some of the guests or the delegates who joined you at State House. Is it true there were some noops who shied away from the photo moment?
Banupu bakulu nnyo mu mobilization eyakunga.
Kubye mwateesako mu State House, lwaki ensi batunuuliranga abalidde mu opposition olukwe?
Sebo bwana Kagwa sibanenya kubanga yendowooza ebaddewo ate nga NRM yagiteekawo. Yateekawo ebyobufuzi, ebyobukyayi n'obwe bakitwata mu Luganda, ebyobukyayi and resentment. Nti buli muntu yenna asemberera NRM obanga alidde emmere n'omuntu omulwadde w'ebigenge. Naye kakati tujja kubanga ate omusujja gujja kutta n'otya okulya emmere n'ow'ebigenge. Ffe twagenze mu mwoyo mulungi. N'abakulu abo, omukulu omu nayogera naye paaka ssaawa 9 ogw'ekiro ku mall Entinda kubanga nsula kumpi awo. Naye yava gye yava wala sijja kwogera. Najja kati okumaliriza n'ayita mu gye bayita COVID protocol emulago. Bwe tutuukawo ate n'alengerawo balamu. Nadduka. Oyo yate mukulu nnyo muki mu Nuupu. Era yaŋŋambye. Yaŋŋambye.
Bwe yajja yasangawo Minister Balamu.
Naddukawo. Naye nga amaze okuyita mu protocol. N'amannya ngalina wano ssebo lwakuba mukulu mukyala ahostinze. Musanze leero simanyi nga gwe muganda wange gwe nakula naye wali ewaffe. Simanyi olututte mukama wa. Kakati abantu ababadde bagenze bangi. Twabadde 17 naye abamu tebazze mu bifaananyi ekitegeerekeka. N'aba DF abamu baatidde. Waliwo ne wa DF yabadde mukulu mu DF ndowooza alinga namba 3 oba 4. Akyo namba 3. Ye abadde ayagala genda. Naye lwakomyewo ku safari n'aŋŋamba tunaabawuliza. Naye bwe yankubidde essimu nga nnyaŋŋanyo zikwata n'eŋŋamba kati ate bino owuliza biki by'otayagala kulabika. Era nze n'ekifaananyi President yabuuza nti waliwo abaagala mu bifaananyi oba tubaagala mu bifaananyi. Ne mugamba tere meeting eri clandestine kinakozesa clandestine kitegeeza si ya nkukutu. Nze era mbadde nsinkana President ebbanga eryo naye nga 3 namusinkana 3 January namusinkana atuli babi.
Honorable yogera ko Simon Kagwanjala mutuwe Simon abuze Honorable
Honorable ekibuzo kyenandyagadde okumanya President Museveni abadde mulabe opposition kati mukwano gwammwe
ate mukwano kyono ye president w'eggwanga bamulonze mukulu Kagwanjala mwe mwennyini mwe mwasooka n'okumudikira yalinga wano wabayo bakama nga ffe tetuli ku internet ne muga nti ono yalondeddwa kakati Nsibambi n'aba abalala mubawadde mandate kimwe ng'abalonze oba batamulonze bw'oba temubawadde mandate ffe muleke tutambule ebyaffe eby'ekiralu n'omulalu afuna bw'ayogerera kati mmwe abalala sigamba gwe ne mmwe abalala abalowooza ti kino kikyamu oba twalidde mu nsi olukwe bo batubuulire ki ekyokukola kiki ekiddako ng'akalulu kawedde NBS TV esinga obunene mu nsi yonna eringa CNN egaa nti ono gwe balonze agenda kulayira tugenda kukola ki tugenda kugwa mu luguudo mamba zitulinnye tugenda wa maama Fiina amyansanga endeku ennaku zino atuwa amajadu gamukwate ku mutwe tugenda kuleeta busaale buyite mu mamba eri bulletproof tugenda mu kereziya oba mizikiti tusomeddwa mukitubuulire tuyinza okuba tuli baddalu
Honorable Nsibambi kati gwe Mawu omulala
Mawu ate yakola ki Mawu DP yatuula ne position yayo nze formation eyaffe tenaba kuggwa egamba twetaaga national dialogue erabe national question ki eriwo issues ki ezina okwogerwako ba stakeholders baki abalina okuteesa Nsibambi ng'omuntu kubanga ekibiina kyange owulidde kigamba tekyantumi era kituufu tekyantumi kugamba nti batabasibe naye nze sinza kwebaka nendi emmere nga anaaba mukoddomi wange ng'abasiza muwala wange abadde mukomera nga talina kyalya obwongo bufudde kubanga omwana wange tajja kufumbira owange nze nnumirwa ng'omuntu alina ekyamagezi ekisingawo akireete bannamakutabagamba Nsibambi toddayo era ne baleeta omubaka naye jja baleetera ebintu byabwe democracy
Nsibambi ng'otutwala speed ku kyalo mu constituency ojjako amasannyalaze ojjayo basare katosinkana President Museveni
basare nkyogedde
bino byonna olabi bikola mu busungu emmeme eyo mumativu
ate busungu kyemmeme mativu kubanga alhamdulillah nobwawakuwa olunaku olumu n'okulembera banno Katonda aba akugyemu mu bantu kakati ekyo kyebaza karakita yange nga Nsibambi kati nga bw'ogirabye mukulu njala nti oba eyinza okuba tetambuza bintu bulungi kakati nange nkwagala gw'oli mukenkufu yimirirawo ogambe nti banna abeekatabi mujemba bulire ki ekitambula mu ggwanga litambula bulungi oba bubi awo nja kukubira mu ngalo naye bino ebyokutiisatiisa abantu nobalemesa okwogera byakijinga nze sikyawasa nti ngezi wa Museveni kumpa oba mwana oba muzukulu sikyanoonya mulimu bwagumpa nga gwabuweereza nja kugukkiriza naye sinoonya mulimu nti kati njagala mulimu kunoonya kyakulya kakati mbeera eyo tuyinza obutatambuza bintu bulungi naye naffe tuli bantu tuli bamalayika.
Honorable Nsibambi, if I could just turn you to English, you're being perceived as a traitor to the cause. You would ordinarily be on the side of the opposition now after the election, a disputed election where the opposition claims there was massive rigging, there were quite a number of issues.
Yes, I don't agree with you. First of all, we have been here for the last 40 years. The government in charge and control of the management of the affairs of the country and governance is the NRM under President Museveni. Things are not changing. So we are just bending backwards to fit in the situation, not for personal interests or gains. It's an appreciation that you cannot change this government under confrontational means. We can talk. Conversations are all over. As we talk right now, the Hamas are talking with Israel, and no one believed it. For the last 2 years, they have been fighting, people maimed and killed, and no results. But now, just recently after talking, you see the Gaza is now a little bit peaceful. America is a very powerful nation, very powerful. But now they're talking with Iran in Oman as we talk right now. So talking to talking to someone on the other side of the aisle is heresy. Confrontation politics has failed. We have had a slogan of demanding for our vote. You're talking about rigging. But the Electoral Commission declared President Museveni as the winning candidate, and he's going to be sworn in. So unless you have other ways or strategies of ensuring that you have change, talking and talking and talking is not really right.
Honorable,
the other day, the leader of opposition, Honorable Senyonyi, exactly said that we are there for simple benefit. But I've been part of the shadow cabinet, and I know what is going on. We have never discussed at the shadow at all issues to do with the imprisonment or incarceration of the youth. We keep storming out of parliament and coming back without solutions. As we talk right now, I have 10 people, actually 9, who are going to be released within 2 weeks or a week. And the rest of the other people are also going to be released. And the Attorney General is working on it. So instead of having the youth suffering, my neighbor, Yasin Kauma, his kids are not going to school and no one is bothered. He died. He was the driver of Bobby Wine. So I think people understand us. Even if it is personal, these are Ugandans. They're entitled to employment. But are they going to serve the cause? The cause we are talking about is not even defined.
Honorable, what I deduce from your submission is that you have a sense of frustration in the current opposition, yes, for failing to confront the most burning issues.
Because it does not exist.
How much do you trust President Museveni in sticking to his word?
Yeah, okay. First of all, I've been part of the shadow cabinet. We have never sat, even as opposition parties, to have a consensus on issues to be handled national. Even in the Buganda caucus, nothing has ever moved at all. So the so-called opposition is not defined, is not focused, has no direction apart from confrontational politics and exciting people for votes and jobs. Then how do I trust President Museveni? Personally, I don't trust him as an individual. But I've talked to him privately on 2 occasions, and then about 5 times, 3 times before elections. Then the last time I talked to him personally was on 3rd January before elections, and then the recent meeting we had. I think when you talk to him, he's a different version. He's so strong. He has a history, has a strong think tank. He works longer hours. I met him one time at midnight to 1:30. He gives you time. He would listen. And I want to test him. Let's test him as an institution, not as Museveni the person. Let's test him as an institution on the issue of the incarcerated youth. Then the rest will go on.
Aine chibuzo ky'omulunyanja Hafi.
Yes.
Ndina omusese wano. Honorable Kabusu. Mukube ekibuzo.
Honorable Kabusu.
Nyabo.
Good morning.
Good
Kakati
morning.
tu ensonga zonna Honorable Sibambi zayogerako ozuulidde bulungi.
Yenyamu.
Do you really agree with him?
Honorable Sibambi, in fact, kati obuuza nfuuzi bwe bennyamira. Enfuuzi eba yafiirwako maama we yayo ne taata waayo nga okwekubagiza yakiyiga yakigunjukira. So obwetaavu bw'okwogerezaganya wakati wa gavumenti eyawangula oba eyawangudde naffe beya abamu tugamba baatubba oba beyayisa obubi oba benyigiriza tebukyaninda kumala kaddiwa mpe ebirowoozo byange, tebukyaninda kumala kubeera muyinike ennyo munaku okuwa ebirowoozo byange. Wendi kati nga ndi member wa parliament nga ne Mwami Museveni tannatondawo gavumenti ye, etaaga tutondewo omwagaanya ogwogeraganya. Mubo muffe abaagala ogwogeraganya. Olowooza kibanga ebigezo. Ebigezo si kyekimu ekiraga nti omwana gw'osomesezza mu ssiru oba tategeera aba ekigezo kyatayise. Akalulu si kyekimu ekiraga nti omuntu eyeesimbyewo mujega munafu tasobola. Modalities ze tuyitamu okufuna akalulu. Simon singa nalinda byoko weesimbye ng'onnyonnyola ensonga noga singa eriyo parliament 2 oba 3 gye yaligenze. Naye ekyokubiri, singa bannayuganda bongera otukangakanga obutayogeraganya baba baagala kkubo liri eddala ery'ekizimba okusamba eddala. Kuli nze Kabuusu ku myaka gyange sikyayagala kunziza mu buwaŋŋanguse kubanga nze nkisobola
opondose
nkisobola naye oluganda lwange mukwano gwange mukyala wange maama wange mukyalo tasobola buwaŋŋanguse
opondose kati oyagala kukolagana na
njagala kwogeraganya bwe kubanga kukolagana kyekitegeeza kwogeraganya njagala Mwami Museveni atuyambe ate abaana b'abantu abasibe ekyo bwe kiba kibyo kyogerako abakulu abawangudde bagende mu parliament bakole etteeka erimukako bbata njagala Museveni bw'aba nga bagaba emirimu abantu ba bulijjo ababadde basunsulwa batawe bamwaganya nabe ennaku yaabwe ewulirwe bwe baba bawangudde mu parliament bakisobola bagende bakikole fena tukwate amakubo
agenjawulo omaliriza ne Honorable Nsibambi. I want to switch to
tugenda
yes, thank you very much Hafi for that time. Honorable George Musisi, you launched a campaign Kanonye Kabanje Kalonye Kalonde Kakume Kabanje. You've now hit a dead end. What is next for you? Where is Kukabanje?
What were the timelines for Kukabanje?
So what are you doing now?
No, we didn't set timelines. And we addressed that last week at our when we addressed the press.
It's been termed as being wishful now.
Well,
the tide has left.
What I'm saying, the skeptics can term it as that, and the people who term it as that for their own reasons. Yes, that campaign was launched, and yes, the demand is on and may have no timelines set.
Did Chagulanyi win?
Yes, he did.
By which margin?
You ask. You can even ask.
No. If you insist he won, tell us. By which margin?
Yes, he won.
By what margin? What was the margin?
Yes, he won. Mm-hmm. Yes, he won.
What was his score?
Simon, if you have gone through an election, like the election that went through, you know, it may not be an issue of 10% or 5%. The question is, the election went through, fell short of releasing accurate results by the official.
I would imagine you had your tally center. What comes out of your tally?
What happened is that even our demand to the Electoral Commission to give us the forms which they used to declare General Museveni as winner has not yielded fruit.
So you don't know if
I've just answered that unless you are not you are short of hearing. The bigger issue though is
it's very important to establish this, because if you say we are being betrayed by our colleagues who are meeting President
I've not said that. That is your opinion.
The colleagues are saying we are stuck. Museveni won. They are endorsing his win.
What I said, Simon, is that Honorable Kabuso and group are within their rights to meet. That is freedom of the association that we call for. They have not betrayed us because they are not representing us. You can't betray when you're not representing. That is simple as that. The issues, though, that they are raising are not new, and they are good to hear. The first question would be that, for instance, Honorable Nsibambi raises people like Yasin, who was shot. I don't know whether he's aware that there's even a judgment of court where government is supposed to compensate the family, which has never been done. So those are some of issues that you should raise. And for me, I would rather
they are putting on the table.
I would rather you discuss issues from an institutionalized point of view. Because even if you talk about political prisoners, and like I said, I want to go and like I've said for the upteenth time, I would demand for the release of those political prisoners because they don't deserve to be in prison, even for one day. But as you're demanding, they're arresting more. They're taking more. So you'd rather have a discussion on the dialogue would rather be bigger than individuals. It's good to hear when you mention individuals. It may be good for the ears. But like I've said, we've had that before, and there are no signs so far to show that this will be different from what has happened in the past.
Honorable Kabuso, do you find Honorable Musisi one of the candidates for the next meeting?
Well, before we were here in studio, I shared views with him and asked him that dialogue is one option we should not shy away from, and we should always explore. I'll wait for him. I'm available. I'm entrusted the responsibility to speak to all my colleagues of dissent opinion and see. He was talking about a structured dialogue. Who would structure it? It should be us to participate in the structuralization. Actually, if there was anything unpleasant of any political actors would be to say, please now, whatever you are, whoever you are, now let us establish an office, let us establish a forum on which ideas and views will come, and let us champion them. Because it is not even myself who will go to speak to Mr. Museveni about the people in NUP want this, the people in Chira want this. It is them. We want to establish a platform where they will come and we sieve out what issues need dialogue, not all of them. And these issues would be...
Isn't it rather awkward that among the first things you put on the table for President Museveni is money for mobilization?
A budget.
What do you need the money for?
Actually...
If you are convinced that what you're pushing is noble, why would you need the money?
Actually, Simon, you have ever hosted guests at your home, either for discussion, whether it was family issues. Who foots the budget? I have ideas of dialogue, but I don't have a budget to sustain or to facilitate people whom I will invite. Without a budget, you can't sustain dialogue. And I tell you, if President Museveni and other civil society actors who would be willing to finance this consultation purpose will not finance the process.
I want to bring in Honorable Nsibambi on that very issue. Honorable Nsibambi. Well, Honorable Nsibambi, I just want to speak to you. Honorable Nsibambi, I found it rather... Well, I'm trying to connect with Honorable Yusuf Nsibambi on the question of money. Honorable Musisi, dialogue with President Museveni has one of the few attractive bits.
The dangling.
Yes, the
carrots.
dangling carrots. Money. But let me first bring in Honorable Yusuf Nsibambi. Honorable Nsibambi, I find it incredible that among the first issues you put on the table is, Honorable Nsibambi, I found it very strange that among the issues you put on the table is the money to facilitate your recruitment. Doesn't this feed into the speculation or the belief that whoever goes to State House goes there for the money?
I didn't understand the question. To facilitate my recruitment?
Recruitment. Among the issues that you told President Museveni is that you need the money for mobilization.
We need money for rehabilitation of the incarcerated youth, who are about 2,000, and those who have been released but went through trauma and unemployment. And he talked about skilling hubs. And we said those skilling hubs are managed in a way which are so professional and bureaucratic. So maybe you may have to sit with those other people, not to form a circle, but through established structures and agreed in this dialogue, for them to go back to society as profitable human beings, not personal.
What does your conscience tell you about President Museveni?
About President Museveni what? I'm
the
sorry.
Character of President Museveni, who's been described in many ways as cunning.
Personally, I didn't grow up with him in a family to know him and know his personal character. He's not my son. I'm actually younger than him. I didn't go to school with him. I don't even buddy with him like I do with you. So I can talk about Simon because at least I know you. You are very religious. You are kind. You are very smart, extremely, because I've talked with you one-to-one. But as for President Museveni, we're not dealing with Museveni as a person. We're dealing with the institution of the president, which is defined under the law. So our movements and interactions are basically legally founded, or when it comes to personal character, we are looking at him as an elder and as a fountain of honor. Otherwise, if we take this issue before him, asking for dialogue and the conversation talk about national issues, which form the basis of the national question, are basically really formal. The informality comes in to spice the discussion, not to appear to be confrontation.
So what is coming next after this controversial meeting?
Controversial because it was open, it was not clandestine. As I talked to President as a person, one-to-one on 2 occasions. Then another meeting with those officials I cited and others who are prominent. I don't want to bring in this discussion for the people in Ebiyumba starting to broker and abuse them because I've talked about this meeting. And then the last meeting actually was 17. Others did not come to be seen in the camera, and others want to come on board. So that formation were about close to 100, and it could even be beyond. We're going to have a national discussion and debate where we have the agenda properly defined. We have leadership properly scrutinized and elected. This now current talk is about the issue of the boys who are in prison, because one can die even the next day, and just one soul dying because we are waiting for the other general formal thing is not right. So that's what we are actually pursuing. We are pursuing, and as we talk, there was supposed to be 10, but 9, because the 10th have not confirmed with the family and their lawyers. 10 will be released, I'm sure, depending on the bureaucracy, in the prisons, whatever, authority and administration, within a week or 2. Then the rest, I'm calling upon Ugandans to come and give forth information. Those who are interested in talking, they go for pre-bargaining, because pardon cannot come now before conviction or admission. So pre-bargaining is different. And that's the category of the people who are going to consider in terms of the state rehabilitating them and support and facilitation. Which, these are national resources we are talking about.
Honorable, as I let you off, do you now consider yourself as the new leader of opposition, holding fort in the absence of what you call this lack of a structured opposition?
I'm not the leader of opposition, because the leadership of the opposition is defined under the law.
I'm
a lawyer. I cannot usurp powers which are not given to me or prescribed under the law. I cannot say I'm the leader of opposition. However, I led the delegation of stakeholders and people of goodwill when there was a gap. There's a very big gap, you can see. We are not here just to play to the gallery. We are not here to dance on people's graves. So we are really coming up as people who are, I don't want to say patriotic because it has been abused also, but as people, as elders, as people of goodwill and stakeholders of different caliber. Simon can also join, and that would be a very big boost, because you have a following of the people, you are smart, you can guide and say, this route you are taking is not proper, and we will follow suit.
Honorable Nsibambi, do you care the way people are looking at you as a sellout?
Which people? Because they have their ideas. If I'm a sellout, they should come up with those nice ideas and dismantle whatever I'm saying, because I'm a sellout. Why are they now at the fence? If you are in a Kamori and then you are saying the other one is a sellout, what have you done for this country, you as an individual, to your neighbor? I cannot be a sellout, because at this age I'm not looking for genuine job. I can survive. I've just been telling the audience, my wife is richer than me. My family can look after me. My mother in the village has a very beautiful garden. At the age of beyond 75, she's still a farmer. So it's not really about sellout, and I don't want to use that kind of attitude and blackmail, specifically by bloggers and guys employed just to abuse people, to leave this platform, because the platform is really a genuine platform. I can see what Kabusu has been saying. Is a member of parliament up to May, but is out to say, please let us talk and have a conversation with government in charge. Because legally, the NRM government and President Museveni, they are the elected leaders. What can you do?
Finally, as I see you off, Honorable, you've met President secretly over the past number of occasions. Is it true there are too many MPs, or rather too many opposition members who are making secret trips to State House?
Don't know, but I don't believe that it is wrong, unless it is personal, a betrayal. But me meeting President Museveni, first of all, was not easy, but now frequently he wants to talk to me because he saw my ideas a little bit different from the Yusuf depicted in the past. I've been in activism for the last 25 years after being recruited by Honorable Israel Mayengo, but we are moving in circles. This government is still very strong. You have to tell that to the population to know, unless you have other strategic ways of removing it.
Thank you very much, Honorable Yusuf Nsibambi. Twagala n'okwebaza abalabi baffe ku Sanyuka TV oyabadde Honorable Nsibambi munnamawokota nga ayimirira ku nsonga ya Mtutem State House. Honorable Musisi, as we get out of here.
Honorable Nsibambi has thrown an invitation to you. Tell the listeners where you're taking it up. He has invited you to join them in the next meeting.
I'm not very sure I would be keen to go that route. But all said and done, you're now being looked at as politicians playing to the gallery and not discussing anything substantive. You heard what Honorable Nsibambi said, that throughout, there's not been any engagement to resolve the impasse over political prisoners in Parliament. For starters, is this true? Yeah. That Parliament, as the opposition, you've not discussed the matter of political prisoners?
Of course, there happens no opportunity to discuss that. The Honorable Joel Senyonyi, in his capacity as leader of opposition, has said it, has demanded an explanation, and the minister, I remember General Muhozi David, the other time came and gave a statement. The statement was shallow by nature. The speaker said we will debate it. We have had and decided die. And that's the fracas there is always in Parliament.
So are these guys playing to
you
the
people who rate us as Parliament as serious people will be shocked one day. You will be shocked one day when you discover this is a total wastage of time and personality and responsibility. Sailing from Chamuswa, the way we sail, to come to Kampala here, you have to first of all book with the Speaker of Parliament if you have to speak in Parliament. 2, when you do not do that, you will stand up and she'll say, okay, as if, wait, probably next time or some time to come. And the whole day goes. You can take a whole month without. And there are a character of members of Parliament who have been speaking procedure. Some of us are charactered in a nature that I should speak when somebody feels I should. I'm one understanding person, trained, charactered. But if somebody does not find value in my contribution, you keep like that, it ends. The voters will now say, Toyogede.
So Parliament is overrated?
Overrated, and the way you are rating it, if there were serious people down there, I had one day Sewungu, the member of Parliament for Kalungu, was saying, Mutukube, Mutusange, Mutukube, Mutuutule. I was concerned what he was talking about was affecting some form of violence. But some members of Parliament are worth finding and hitting or flogging hard, seriously. For one day to be serious. We are not. We are a house of unserious people. I need dialogue more than I need to be in
We are getting out of here, but Honorable, I think the reality is now dawning that there is an overwhelming demand. According to what Kabosu says, he's flooded with calls from colleagues that they also want to go to State House. Aren't you going to be left alone?
Some want to be house closer to them.
He hasn't said that there could even be 100 colleagues. It doesn't matter. The question is, and I'm not against anyone who thinks that that is the path, that is the, because I believe in freedom.
Or you also getting persuaded?
No, of course I'm not persuaded. I've made my points clear here. I've said, Simon, that even you question whether we are playing to the gallery, that will be answered in the short-term future, because the things that Honorable Kabusu and group are raising are good to hear and they are good to talk about. They have been raised before in the similar forum, and we are saying, let us raise them in a more appropriate forum,
So it is
such that there
personal
is a more
gratification.
substantive discussion on them. As it looks now, it may be it looks like that.
Gentlemen, what a pleasure hosting you. Honorable Musisi and Honorable Kabusu, I wish you could continue this conversation. Well, is Kabusu one of the political messiahs or a traitor? Good morning.
For years, they have studied, they have trained, they have persevered. Now, the moment of honor has come. Finns Medical University is proud to announce its 5th graduation ceremony. We cordially invite our graduating class of 2025, their esteemed parents and guardians, and the general public to join us in this celebration of academic excellence and professional dedication. The ceremony will be held on Friday, the 27th February 2026, at the Finns Medical University campus in Fort Portal. Proceedings commence at 9 a.m. Finns Medical University, a chartered medical university in East Africa.
This Valentine's Day, love knows no limits. Boundless love and Ensonga z'omukwano at Lake Victoria Serena Golf Resort and Spa. Feel the magic as legends Maddox Sematimba and Jamal Waswa serenade the night. Plus, step back in time with Rasta Rob MC and the Twins. Crown the night in our luxurious rooms from $165 single or $185 double. Tickets go for 1 million shillings for a platinum couple and 2.8 million for a group of 6 and includes a sumptuous steak dinner with house wine. Tickets available now at cricket.co.ug. Brought to you by Lake Victoria Serena Golf Resort and Spa in partnership with Capital FM and Mosaic Marketing Collective.
Dimna Uganda, Dimna Uganda, Dimna
This is Uganda. This is home.
Brought to you by Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Abange! Bano baba mukwayimbye bawerekeddeko Johnston the Black Man mu Valentine concert.
Hi, my name is Juliana. Valentine's Day. Tugwere ku Sheraton Gardens.
This is your girl Irene Taylor. Just to this concert, I'll be performing live.
Oluzungu kyekyo. Next. Ate gwavudde Kenya gwani.
This is Abongo Jakabwana.
Wanji.
I'm a Luo from Kenya.
Ekyo tukitegedde otugamba ki?
I'm coming there to perform at Just Steady Black Man's concert.
Pozi weyimba luyimba ki?
Baby darling. What do you need, baby girl? Tell me.
Omulala. Lydia Jasmine kakasa abantu. Okuyingira mitwalo 10. Emmeza y'abantu 8 obukadde 3. Just today ali ku Sheraton Kampala Hotel ku Valentine's Day. Gebikutuusibwako Avitex Promotions gekiwagiddwa Victoria University ne Sauti Plus.
This Valentine's, celebrate love the way it was meant to be shared at the Equatorial Restaurant. Step into a romantic dinner buffet designed for lovebirds. Indulge in rich flavors meant to be shared, surrounded by elegant ambience with soulful live band performances by Jonathan the Diva, setting the mood from 6 to 10 p.m. at 300,000 per couple. Because at Emin Pasha, love tastes better together.
2022 Kampala to Bushenyi, 2023 Kampala to Mbale, 2024 Kampala to Fort Portal, 2025 Kampala to Gulu. Welcome to John Walker 2026, and this time it's Kampala to Hoima. We'll be engaging with the roadside communities. We'll be engaging with schools, public administrators, law enforcement officer, Ministry of Works officials, and we are saying, hey, it's possible to create safe roads and save lives.
Well, a very good morning. My name is Victoria Sabatani. A joy and a pleasure, of course, to be here with you on a Monday morning. I guess let's talk money a little bit and some credit, if I should, because access to credit can be either life-changing or it can be life-disturbing, depending on how it is used. Now, for many Ugandans, loans are still associated with a bit of fear, some pressure, and even some financial strain. But Absa Bank is trying to change that conversation through its campaign, Loans That Help Where It Matters. It's encouraging responsible, purpose-driven borrowing for people, families, and businesses. Now, this morning, we are joined by Rogers Mwine, Head of Personal Banking and Distribution at Absa Bank, Uganda. Welcome to the breakfast meeting, Rogers.
Thank you, Victoria.
Absolutely. Let's get straight into the conversation. It's back to school season. A lot of parents are thinking we need money. Lots of people are thinking we need money for different types of things all around the world. Why do you think that when Ugandans hear the word loan, there's a bit of fear attached to it, or even a pressure or some stress or trouble attached to that particular word being a loan? Why is borrowing, why do you think it has such a negative connotation?
Okay, I beg to disagree with
so
you.
it doesn't have a negative connotation?
Because borrowing is actually a very good thing in the market. Mm-hmm. And we have seen, of course, people want to borrow, but they don't want to be known to borrow. Yeah, and so that is why as a bank, of course, sometimes we look at that differently. We want to appreciate that and also be able to handle customers on a one-on-one basis. Mm-hmm. But yes, why don't customers want to be known for borrowing? Is because really no one wants to know that I'm struggling financially.
You seem to be irresponsible slightly, or like you don't have your stuff together.
Yeah. And so everybody wants to go out there and show this message that, I got this, I'm in charge of this, and so I have my money. Nobody wants to know where it comes from. But we respect that. We know that that's how customers behave. And we try to serve them in their circumstances.
Mm-hmm. And now, looking from your experience, of course, what kind of loans are people getting these days? What is the main stressor? Is it really school fees? Is it really, is it emergencies? Or why? Is it business, perhaps, even on the other? Or is it to keep up with a particular lifestyle?
Well, today, being a Monday, and this is the day that schools have opened, so everybody is thinking right now, how do I get my kids to school? Mm-hmm. And that becomes a very important factor for us. And you see so many people actually taking loans for school fees. But it doesn't stop there. As someone is taking a loan for school fees, someone else is looking, how do I run my business? How do I import a car? Mm-hmm. How do I buy a house? Mm-hmm. So all these things are there, and they are running around in cycles. You just need to know who and where. But it's really...
Yeah. So I guess the problem might not be the loans themselves. Is it how people borrow, or what would be the problem in your opinion? Because the loans is not a problem. Is it how they borrow? Is it what they borrow for? Is it that they can't pay it back?
And in fact, you actually just said it right. Mm-hmm. Because most importantly, of course, the loans are good. But the thing is, how do I borrow? What decisions do I take into account before I get into the borrowing? Mm-hmm. What are those things that I look out for Is my loan good? Is it the only loan I can get? Is it the only option that's available for me? What am I going to use the money for? So all these are things that really come into play, just to ensure that, just to see that customers really have what they have. But it's quite a number of issues, but most importantly, it's not the loan.
Well, as Absa Bank, you have launched a campaign now, and we can break it down a little bit and maybe talk about what does the loans that help where it matters mean? What is that campaign? Break it down for us.
Okay, so for starters, when we were thinking about launching this campaign, we're like, what's the most important thing to the customer? Is it just the loan? No. We said we want to come to this season with a heart of assisting. We want to assist customers to be able to borrow smarter, be able to think about, okay, so I'm going to take this loan. Do I really need the money now? I'm going to look at these conditions. Are these the right conditions for me to borrow? So when we are coming with this message, we're simply saying, don't just look at money. Look at how do you make smart decisions when it comes to borrowing, and how then does that loan help you to grow your business, to improve yourself as an individual.
Absolutely. Can you give us some examples, actually, what you mean by where it really, really matters? Because to somebody else, getting that new vehicle matters more than anything else.
Yeah. So what we have done is we've looked at an individual all around in terms of what does a customer really need. So do you want something for emergency? Yes, we have something that's available for you, which you can actually get within seconds. Do you want to purchase a car? Yes, we can actually not just direct you to where the good cars are, but also help you to finance them and giving you the different information. Do you want to purchase a home? Yes, we actually have that covered, and we give you up to about 25 years for you to be able to purchase a home in a very nice neighborhood that you've been thinking about. And then, of course, do you have a business? And do you want to boost your business, to add working capital? Do you want to purchase some assets for the business? So we've got all this covered. It's just for you to say, and we'll do.
If I'm understanding you correctly, then the loans that help where it matters is a group of loans that cater to different things that people would have, like the car, the business, or the house in that case.
Yeah, because we do appreciate that it's not one size fits all.
Yes.
Because everybody has something that they're trying to chase and maybe hustle for on a daily. So we've come in and said, okay, you know what? We have a group of solutions, and we don't want to limit you here. And that's why we're saying in this campaign, let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's know what you want. Because then that's when Absa will be part of your story.
Now, but if somebody is right now considering a loan per se, what should they ask themselves before they walk into the bank? What are the main questions they should already have in mind before they walk into the bank?
Okay. First things first is, do I actually need this loan?
Good question.
Yeah? Do I actually need this loan? And if the answer is yes, I need this loan, then what are the terms and conditions of this loan? What is the pricing? What are the other considerations around this loan? What other factors may come into play? For example, if I say I need this loan, and maybe that's a question that I asked, I might be there and I say I need a loan when I actually don't need a particular loan, I need something else. I might be there and I need a car, and then I go and I take a salary loan. So at the end of the day, those two things are a bit wide. And that's why we're saying, for now, let's take this time and say, let's have a conversation. Let's understand our customers. Let's assist them as they make those decisions, because we are their trusted financial advisors.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But how do you then know? I'm just thinking, how does one actually know that they are ready or financially ready to start borrowing, to start buying those loans? How do they know?
Okay, so it's ideally a needs-driven kind of decision, where when you look at yourself and say, maybe I have this business, and if I'm running this business, maybe I'm going to have a shortfall in terms of my working capital. So that is when now you say, okay, maybe this is the right time for me to go and borrow. Because when I put in this working capital, it's going to be able to help my business maybe to expand to a certain level. Now, different people, different scenarios. Yeah, but most importantly is there is a need for money, which we know. But then we are saying, and this is our message, that let's not just rush into the money, because everybody gives money. But let's understand the nitty-gritty behind that, such that the facility that you take does not become stressful. At the end of the day, it's not the stress of the loan. At the end of the day, it's what this loan can do for you. We've seen quite a number of stories where people have progressed because they've taken facilities. So we become happy when we hear parents come and say, look here, my kids were able to go to school because I took a loan from ABSA. I was able to build this factory just because I took a working capital facility or a development finance facility from the bank. I was having issues transporting my raw materials, maybe from upcountry to the factory here in Kampala, and I was able to get a vehicle that did that for me. I was able to build the house of my dreams. I was able to get the house of my dreams in the nice location that I want because I got a loan from ABSA.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned a little bit of the businesses, the SMEs, because if I wanted to build a small factory, and really they are the backbone of our economy, if we're talking SMEs in this case, what do you think are some of the small mistakes that businesses make or commonly make when it comes to borrowing per se? Is it just borrowing for absolutely anything, or is it the fact that they don't realize they can't pay it back? Or what are the common mistakes that we might not know of that SMEs get into, especially when it comes to borrowing from a bank?
Okay, so what we have seen is, first of all, is really the mix. Do you have a short-term need and you're going for long-term borrowing? Or you have a long-term need and you've gone for short-term borrowing? So that is really one of the biggest issues that we've actually seen on the market. For example, someone wants to pay for school fees and takes a 10-year loan. Who does that? So what's going to happen in the next
Thinking the kids is going to go to school for 10 years, maybe?
Yes. So really for me, that is one of the things that I have found where many of the people get to struggle. And then the other thing, of course, is about taking loans in a rush. You do not know the nitty-gritty. So at the end of the day, and I think we've seen this, when customers need money, or when people out there need money, they just need money. They say, I need money now, and I'll look at the conditions later. And that becomes
dangerous,
expensive, dangerous in the long run. So it's important that we take informed decisions. We know what's happening, and we are able to.
Well, how does one get started then? And they're watching us right now thinking, I would like to start my journey with ABSA Bank. Why should they say yes?
Why should they say yes? Because ABSA Bank is, first of all, your trusted financial advisor. That's number one. And number two, we are coming and saying, yes, we offer financing, but we don't stop there. We also offer financial advice. And that's a critical piece that's missing. At ABSA, we say that your story matters. And that is why we want to come and be invested in your story. We take time to listen to your story. We know where you're coming from, because each and every person out there has a different story. So to the person out there, I'm telling you that we are the bank that's willing to listen to your story. We are the bank that's going to walk that journey with you. We are the bank that wants you 10 years from now to write and say, I was here and ABSA was part of my story to be here.
Absolutely, I like that. But if we were, I guess, to go in, what are the risks, of course, of loans? Just to remind people a little bit, and how are you helping to mitigate those risks as a bank?
Okay, so for starters, and wow, that's a brainer.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just looking at the risk of somebody who's risk averse, like myself. I'm a little bit risk averse. I don't take that much risks. I'm not going to go take a loan from somewhere. And those are the things I'm thinking about. So if I come to the bank and I said, I'm a little risk averse and I'm scared to do this, I'm scared to that, how do you help me navigate those risks so that there are not as much risks that I can actually work it out?
Okay. And why I said it's a brainer, because risk is part of business. And risk is part of our lives. So the most important thing at every level is, am I taking on the right amount of risk? And that's critical, because for every decision we make, it has a risk element attached to it. And so to take on the right amount of risk, that's why you need a financial advisor from ABSA. So first of all, to walk you through and say, okay, look here, I know you want to buy a car. But the car that you want to buy, for you to be able to avoid the risks that are like this and that, that is why you need to take this path. Which path, for example, the bank can actually even take measures to protect you. You want to buy a house, you know there's quite a number of maybe land frauds in this country. So the bank is able to help you along the journey, help you to establish the real value of the property, help you to establish the real owners of the property, help you to ensure that whatever property that you're purchasing was acquired and went through the right channels. So that sort of takes away all these risks.
Yes. Now, I'm glad you're mentioning this, because it sounds to me that you're positioning yourself saying, we are here to help, we're here to hear your story and create the right solutions for you. Any final thoughts that you'd like the viewers to know, especially coming from ABSA Bank?
Okay, so as we go out to the market, of course, to launch this campaign, it's very important for customers to know that as we do this, we also understand that when a customer wants money, time is of essence, because time costs money. When we are coming and saying, if you're applying for a salary loan, and you provided us with all the documents, and you don't have feedback from us within 6 hours, we should be able to compensate you with 500,000. And if you apply for a business loan, and you have provided us with all the documentation, and you don't get feedback within 72 hours, we should also be able to compensate you with 500,000. And why the compensation? Because we appreciate that time is money, and so we don't want to waste your time, and we don't want you to waste your time. When you come to us, trust us to walk you through that journey.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. That was Rogers Muina, Head of Personal Banking and Distribution at ABSA Bank Uganda, helping us to really rethink how we borrow, not out of necessarily pressure, sometimes yes, but with a purpose. The message is very clear. Loans should support what truly matters, your livelihoods, your growth, your long-term stability as well. Now, thank you again for joining us this morning, and the breakfast meeting goes ahead and take a quick break.
Okay.
We're kicking your year off in all her glory with more, because we've got you. You get it? We got kicks. We got scores. We got action. We got roars. It's my specialty. We got drama. We got fun. Reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
My name is Paul Jonathan Ingoiro. I'm the IT Business Development Manager for Future Technologies Limited. The entire project is about digital literacy, awareness, and trainings. So basically, we went to the communities to do different IT trainings to help the community understand the different trends of technology that is coming up and how best can they use it. 1, to develop themselves, 2, to improve on their businesses, 3, to be much of self-awareness of the different trends that are rising up at the moment. Participants usually get super excited about being engaged and how they receive it very welcomingly. So the biggest impact is them interacting with these different gadgets that we usually go with, the laptops, the tablets that we use.
As of 2023, 10,050 business owners and staff were trained in different SMEs concerns. The Digital Skilling for SMEs program is driving economic growth and innovation by empowering small and medium-sized businesses with the digital skills they need to thrive in a competitive market.
Are you planning an event? Think of X Events for the best photography and videography of all kinds. We believe that every moment is worth capturing. Whether Kwanjula, weddings, Kuhinjira, bringing out the culture and glamour. And of course, a professional team that has mastered the art of the game and progear with elegance. X Events is located along Rubaga Road on Access Building opposite Hotel Sojavalo. X Events, capturing your precious moments.
So Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Yes, habari Uganda, my name is Palazzo. Nensongendeserero ya unemployment. Are you looking for connections? Ozagala wano oboyagala connections eweruwe gwanga. Hayes Recruitment is here to support you. Aba Hayes Recruitment beba kafuru boka abaina connections ku mirimu mu Uganda ne bweruwa Uganda. They have opportunities waiting for you. Era mu kulwanyisa ebbula ly'emirimu n'okubazaamu amaanyi negase ne Hayes Recruitment. Gamaze okukakasa nti balina emirimu egisobola okumatchinga skill y'omuntu yenna. Kati gwayagala okwekolerera okyuse ku bulamu bwo otuke ku birooto by'okozesa ku connections zange. Tukyalireko, visit Hayes Recruitment today and let's unlock your potential. Buli awulidde ategeeze munne nti go Hayes, go better.
Influence is more than followers, it's impact. At Next Influencer, we connect brands with the right voices through a thorough vetting and discovery process. We onboard influencers with hands-on workshops that build skills, unlock real opportunities, and fuel professional growth. Brands find the perfect match, influencers get dignified jobs, and audiences experience authentic stories. This is where influence becomes value. Next Influencer. Create, discover, connect, influence.
Too many ads? Expensive subscription? You deserve better. And artists, thousands of plays, but nothing to show for it. This ends now. Introducing Yugatunes, the new home of your favorite music on Afro Mobile. Listeners, stream your favorite songs ad-free at no cost. Artists, earn from every stream. Withdraw your royalties anytime from as low as 20,000 Uganda shillings. This is music that pays off. This is music that belongs to you. Yugatunes, your sound, your stage, your reward.
The world is going digital and creativity is no longer just a passion, it's a pathway. Next Creator is building dignified job opportunities for young people by turning creativity into real careers. It's about more than just content, it's about learning digital skills that lead to sustainable income, branding yourself with confidence, understanding influence and the digital economy. Next Creator equips young creatives with the tools they need to grow, adapt and thrive in a fast-changing world. If you want to to turn your ideas into opportunities, if you want to make creativity work for you, this is where you start. Scan the QR code and apply now.